to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Judy, and today we are going to be talking about my labor and delivery story. Whew, 24 hours of labor. Okay, I talk about it in pretty much in detail for you guys. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below, but I tell you guys from start to finish what happens with my medical need induction, because it was a medical need, on why I needed to get induced. So I'm going to share with you guys the story. And yeah, baby girl was born at 37 weeks. If you want to know my labor and delivery story, please keep watching. I still got the same dirty hair and I don't feel like washing it. I desperately need to wash it, but we're gonna let me live today. Okay, it's Mother's Day and I get to do what I want. And that means I don't want to do my hair. So in today's video, baby girl just went to sleep. I am going to put some contacts on and we're gonna do a story time. Get ready with me. I'm gonna be talking to you guys about my labor and delivery, giving you guys the details on what happened when I went into labor. Okay, I desperately wish I had the courage, and I need coffee. I really do, because if not I'm gonna go to sleep, to like give myself a Brazilian wax, but it's a lot. So we're gonna go out to a Mother's Day dinner. I don't know where, but I want to go out. I don't want to order food in. My husband's actually making a pizza right now so he can eat something because he is hungry. But I always think that people kind of exaggerate when it comes to pain, because I have a high pain tolerance, right? Pretty high pain tolerance. But let me tell you, labor is a whole different ballgame. It's not a lie when people say it is painful. So on Friday I was at 37 weeks, and at 37 weeks you have an appointment. When you get to like 36 weeks you start having appointments weekly. So I had my weekly appointment, 37 weeks, and I go in to get checked. And every single time you go get checked, they check your blood pressure. And when they checked my blood pressure that day, it was like 150 over 100 or something like that. It was high. I was feeling sick, like I had a headache. But again, I'm really good with pain, so I can dismiss things when they're happening to me. And that was actually like a bad thing, because when I went in and the doctors were asking me questions about certain pains that can come with high blood pressure issues, I was kind of like, I think I have that pain, or I think I felt that discomfort, because I'm so, like, again, good with dismissing pain. So I go in that Friday and my blood pressure is that high, and they decide to keep me for some observation. They wanted me to just stay there for a couple hours just to let my blood pressure go down a little bit and monitor the baby. So they had the monitors on me. I was sitting in like little like office corner type thing with my husband. They were checking the baby's heartbeat. And the thing is that I love and hate about my doctors was that they did not alarm me when things were actually wrong. So when I was getting my checked that first time, the baby's heartbeat was too slow, consistently too slow. If you guys do not know this, if you're pregnant, when you have the baby in your belly, their heart rates accelerate and decrease consistently. If it stays steady, slow, or steady too fast, that's not a good thing. So the baby's heart rate was staying steady to slow on Friday. So high blood pressure, steady to slow. They monitored me. They gave me orange juice. At that time, during these last like 36, 37 weeks, the baby's movements were getting a little bit decreased. And they were saying that maybe it's because she's getting bigger and there's not a lot of room for her to move. But what was happening was when I would drink something, she wouldn't react. I always had orange juice in my house because I read that when you don't feel the baby moving for too long, I'm like getting hot. I'm gonna have to take this off. And let me go get a shirt on. I'll be right back. I'm giving you guys all these details because I feel like it's important, especially if you're pregnant, and the things you have to keep an eye out. So that Friday, like I said, my blood pressure was high, consistently high. And sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place. Like I said, when I was drinking orange juice or anything, she wasn't reacting. When I was eating, she wasn't reacting as normal as she would be, which is like going crazy when I eat. So I mentioned that to the doctor, and her heart rate started getting back to normal, and they gave me another appointment for Monday, so that if I was feeling any type of way, they gave me like signs to look out for and to go in if I didn't feel good. So I go home. Actually, that Friday we went to Mount Rushmore. So we go to Mount Rushmore, we have a good time. I get home. I'm lying. No, it wasn't Friday, it was Saturday. So Friday comes and goes. That's what happens. Saturday I get woken up. So Saturday I get woken up with a bad headache, and normally I can sleep through pain, but for some reason this headache really woke me up. So I woke up at 4 in the morning with a headache, and I couldn't fall back to sleep till like around 7. Then I woke up like around 8:30 still with the headache, and I knew that I had high blood pressure at that time. So what she told me to look out for was getting a headache, pain right here, like where your rib is. It was the right rib, not the left one. So on your right rib, it's pain, but it's not. It's kind of like a heartburn feeling right here. So if you feel that and a headache, she wanted me to go to the hospital and get checked. So it was 8 in the morning. I was feeling all those feelings. I decided to eat to see if it would help me. Didn't help me. I got ready and I told my husband, I was like, I think we're gonna have to go in to get me checked. So I ended up stopping at Sam's Clubs, which is right down the street from my house, and they had a blood pressure machine. My blood pressure was 154/90, again, high. So I ended up going straight to the hospital. I had my breastfeeding class that morning. I ended up missing it because I went to the hospital. So when I went to the hospital again, blood pressure went down a little bit, but when they started monitoring the baby, her heart rate was too fast for too long. So Friday was too slow for too long. Saturday was too fast for too long. So they were keeping me for a little while to monitor her and make sure things got better. So they sent me home, and then Saturday they sent me home. Saturday we go to Mount Rushmore, hang out there for a little bit just to have a day to ourselves. And then Sunday comes and goes. I am feeling a little bit off on Sunday, but nothing crazy. I don't feel like my blood pressure is too high or anything like that. I didn't have a headache, so I didn't go in. Monday I had another appointment with them to check my high blood pressure again. When I go in on Monday to go get checked, my blood pressure, I was actually feeling fine and my blood pressure was high. It was again in the 150s over 90. It was again consistently high. Baby's heart rate was, I don't even remember. I don't think it was anything bad. But because my blood pressure was consistently high for 3 days and I was 37 weeks, my doctor did not want me to get worse. One thing that I appreciated with my doctors, and I know other people have not had the same experience, was she didn't allow me to get worse. So she could have given me high blood pressure medicine and just said, hey, you can wait it out. You have 2 weeks. Cook this baby some more. No, she knew that the baby was healthy, grown to the ability, I think full term is 37 weeks, but 40 weeks is what you wait for. I don't know how that terminology fully goes. So at 37 weeks, that morning, I did not expect my doctor to tell me that I'm being induced. So she was like, I recommend for you to get induced. I'm on the phone with my mom and I just start crying and I'm like, I did not think that I was going to be induced. I didn't think that my blood pressure or anything was that bad for me to need to get induced, but I guess it was. So I ended up getting induced right afterwards. She was like, go home, get your husband, get your stuff and come in, you're getting induced. So I did. It was 10 in the morning when I went to that appointment. I got home, took a shower, cleaned my house a little bit just because I was not coming home to a mess. I cleaned up, got my bag, we went and grabbed something to eat, stopped at Ross because I wanted some new bras, and it was time to have baby girl. Let me do my eyebrows first and then I'll be back on camera. Okay. All right, so I left my doctor's appointment at 10 in the morning. Oh, my brows, and I set my eyelids. Got to the hospital by 1 o'clock. So, it was 1 o'clock. I started my process. Literally, I called, I got there, and instantly they brought me up to my room. I did not have to wait. I didn't have to go to triage. I didn't have to do any of that. I literally just went into my labor room. So I got there, went into my labor room, and they immediately started the process. I got to they immediately started the process. I got an IV done. They ended up doing my IV right here instead of here because I didn't have good veins here, so I had to get my IV here. You can still see the dot on him. So I got an IV, and with my IV they started some fluids in me because I needed to be induced fully. When you get induced, you do need fluids. It's inevitable for you not to get fluids. So I got fluids started on me, and by 3:30ish, I want to say they started the first dose of Cervatec, something like that. Which is to start opening my cervix. My cervix was closed. It was soft but closed. I did not have it open at all. And I'm sorry that I don't know the face process, like 80% efface. I wasn't really educated on it to be asking about it too much. I just paid attention to how many centimeters I was. So what it is, it's a little tiny pill, literally as big as, I literally want to say it that big, like super small, like super duper small, not big at all. And when you get it inserted in you, you cannot get up from the bed for an hour. So they inserted my first dose around 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, something like that. And I couldn't get up for an hour because it, you know, trying to keep it up there as much as possible. It is a pill, so you're trying to keep the pill in your cervix area as long as possible. So when that happened, I waited an hour, then I was able to get up, move around. I was bored, super duper bored. I started to film, but I didn't continuously film because then I didn't start feeling well. But so the first dose of Cervatec was inserted. Then about 3 hours later, the second dose was inserted. I only had 2 doses of it. My contractions started. They literally just felt like period cramps. As the time went on, it became worse. It was like your worst period cramp. And the way it started, it was kind of, it was like literally like it slowly started, and then you got the peak of the pain, and then it went right back down. So around 6 o'clock, I want to say, my contractions fully started, that I started feeling them. It was more than just a discomfort. It was like, I got a contraction, give me a second, really quickly, got through it, and I kept going. I was like that after my second dose of Cervatec. I was like that for about, how long was I like that for? About 6 hours or so. And then Pitocin started. When Pitocin started, the pain was like the worst cramp pain that you can feel. Like I couldn't fall asleep at all. I was up all night. Every single time that I would get a second to fall asleep, I would, my baby crying, hold on. Husband took her. Then when the Pitocin came, I want to say my pain got to a 9, right? And it was pain that you can get through. I wasn't like not able to get through the pain at all. I honestly felt, again, like I can get through the pain. So I was like, okay, I can do this. I know that I can do this. So I kept pushing on from 9 to 7 in the morning. 9 to 7 in the morning, I barely got any sleep at all. I would literally doze off, wake back up with the pain. My goodness. It was just so annoying that, okay, so that's how I can describe pain. The pain was annoying. Like, it was just aggravating to get it, and you were just like, can you just pass on by already? And it would go away, right? But that was the tip of the nothing, okay? Because as soon as my doctor got there around 7:45 in the morning, she texted me. I was 3 centimeters dilated, and she was like, all right, we're gonna break your water so that, you know, we can start processing this. I still was getting Pitocin. I was at a level 10 of Pitocin by 7 in the morning. So she broke my water. When she broke my water, first of all, cervix checks are not fun. I hated getting any type of check down there the entire time at all. I had to get a catheter. Not fun. A catheter without, I just needed like a clean urine sample. And the way they do that is with a catheter. Unmedicated, they just get it. So that was uncomfortable. So I got my water broke like around 7:45, 8 o'clock. As soon as she broke my water, I want to say by the second or third contraction, the pain was different. Ooh, was that pain different. I have never ever felt that kind of pain in my life, and honestly it's so hard to describe or compare it to anything. The pain was just, it was like period cramps times a million. Like I've never experienced a pain in before. Like so before my water was broken, I felt like the pain was controlled, right? Let's say this is your belly, right? So the pain was controlled to be here. When my water broke, I felt like the pain was not controlled. I felt like the pain wasn't gonna go away. It literally went right. Okay, so you know how I told you guys in the beginning that the period pain, like it started like, you know, and then it peaked up and then went back down and you were calm. With this pain, it literally shot up and went back down, shot up and went back down. You did not get a chance to brace yourself for this pain. It was like, it's coming and it's here. That's it. And let me tell you, I endured that pain for 2.5 hours. By 10:30, I was like, I need an epidural. I am tired. I'm exhausted. I haven't had any sleep. I don't know if this is going to be any much longer. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be in labor. I need an epidural because I do not want to not be able to push. So as soon as I knew in my mind I needed an epidural, and you guys know my goal was to go natural. It was 100% to go natural, but 20 hours into labor, I was like, I can't do this, because I know that if I go natural and I keep pushing my body to go natural, what's going to happen is that I will not have the energy to push. And if I don't have the energy to push, there's a chance that I can go via C-section. That was my thought process, and I didn't want to risk it. So 10:30 comes. If you guys do not know this about epidural, in order for you to get an epidural, you need to have a full bag of fluids inside you. So as soon as I knew that I wanted an epidural, I called my nurse and I was like, can I get the fluid? I want the epidural. Get this ball rolling. She did not skip a beat. She already got the bag, started the IV, and had the IV in me in 30 minutes. She's like, do you want me to check you before we do your the epidural? I was like, no, I don't need you to check me. I just need you to get an epidural inside me. Okay, I need you to do this because I can't. So getting all that fluid inside you makes you need to pee. So I'm having to get up. My husband's helping me. I have the IV. I have to travel with the bag, having to pee so many times. And every single time I would have to pee, I would get a contractions, and I'm just standing there or I'm sitting on the toilet in pain, Fast forward, it was time to get an epidural. When I got the epidural, she gave me like a button and she was like, if you press this, and I recommend you to press it at least 3 times before it's time to go into labor, because then it'll allow you not to feel anything. When you get the epidural, you feel the pain for about 20 more minutes. So it's about 3, maybe 5 contractions more. You will feel the pain, but you start feeling them go down and down. So I started to slowly but surely feel the contractions. The nurse held me. My husband did not, because I know that if my husband held me, it would have been a terrible situation. But she held me. She was a trooper, because I was going through a contraction when he was putting that epidural in my back, and I literally held on to her with my entire heart, because I knew that if I moved, I can mess up my epidural. So I endured that pain, and I got through it. The epidural guy was awesome, so awesome. He got it in and out. He was really good at his job. Got the epidural. 20 minutes later, I started feeling good. Then they checked me. So around 11:30, I got the epidural. 11:30, 11:45. They checked me. I was 7 centimeters dilated. By 1 o'clock, I was 10 centimeters dilated, fully ready to push. The nurse starts having me push, and she's like, she has me push like twice, and she's like, no girl, you can stop pushing because you know what you're doing and baby girl's gonna come. So the nurse called the doctor. My doctor was awesome. My nurses were awesome. They were all really good. Pushing at 1 o'clock Mountain Time, and at 1:29, which it was actually a little bit after 1 o'clock. I was pushing for about 15-20 minutes, not long at all. I pushed about 10 times, and she was out. My husband helped me a lot. He said he wasn't gonna look, but he ended up looking, and he was very encouraging, very supportive, helped me through that labor part. I was so exhausted, and I was like out of it. Like, that's how tired I was. Like, I pushed her out, and she came out. She was on top of me, and she was sleeping. Like, literally, she did not cry at all. The doctors were really working hard to wake her up to start for her to cry. And yeah, she was out. And background story. So 28 years ago, to the exact date that my daughter was born, my grandmother died. She died in Puerto Rico, Eastern Standard Time, and she died at 3:30 on a Tuesday, that same exact day, a minute before my daughter was born. And my mom and I were talking, and she was like, how crazy would it be if she was born at 3:30? She was born at 3:30. 3:29 to be exact. That's what's on her birth certificate. But isn't that amazing? Isn't God amazing how he worked that for his good? My mom really struggled a lot for a long time. And you know, sadness takes over her for my grandmother around that time. So for her to have a new joy on that day is just beautiful. Like, not that it cancels out my grandmother's death, but it just gives her and brings her so much joy. And my name is actually based off her name. Her name is Judith. Her name was Judith. And my name is Judides, which comes from Judy is from Judith, and Edie's is from my mom's middle name. And I've always felt all my life that I was connected to her. Some way, somehow I had some connection to her. And listen, my daughter was born a minute before she passed away, 28 years later. Alright, so I finished my makeup off camera because I just did. It was just a quick get ready with me. So yeah guys, 24 hours of labor. 24 hours of labor because I started my induction at 1 and ended my delivery at 1:30. So 24 hours of labor, and I had her. Again, I always say that her time is 3:29 because that's what Eastern Standard Time is. But I'm so in love with her face. I've shown her here and there. Right now she's with my husband, and my mother-in-law is looking at her, so, and on FaceTime, so I don't want to interrupt him and take her. But maybe on my next video I'll fully introduce her to you guys, show you guys her beautiful little face. I am so obsessed with her. Literally so obsessed. I cannot get enough of her. I try my hardest not to get distracted and not do things that I'm supposed to be doing, which is why I'm here now filming, getting things done, getting myself into a rhythm of things, because I have time. I just need to really diligently do the things that I'm supposed to be doing. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any labor questions, leave them down below. I'll try to answer them. Maybe I left some things out, but yeah, I would like to say that my induction had no complications. Actually, it had a couple little things here and there where her heart rate went down a little bit, and they kept moving me around to make sure that her heart rate got better, but I think that had a lot to do with my contractions, which is very common for people. So overall, I don't think I had any complications. So yeah, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. And next video, it's either going to be about breastfeeding, the beginning, or like what you really need for the hospital, because I packed a whole bunch of random stuff. And to be quite honest, all these videos, a lot of the times, people pack crazy things, and I don't even think you need half the things that you need. So I'm going to be sharing you guys what you really need for the hospital, and you guys are probably going to see it with this same makeup because I plan on coming home from dinner and filming this look. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.